Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining me once again. Here I am back with another video, this time Storm Collectibles. Of course, more video game related figures here. Ultra Street Fighter 2, the final challengers. This is Balrog, or as he's known in Japan, I believe as M. Bison. Here in the US, he's known as Balrog. Storm Collectibles, I did get this from Big Bad Toy Store a little while ago. Just really haven't had a chance to open it. So I figured, why not? Let me show everyone out there who may be interested in this guy. I do have a couple of other Storm Collectible figures in my collection. I do have a couple of others in pre-order as well. So it's really nice to have this added. Again, really cool packaging. There's the Ultra Street Fighter artwork from the game. Right here, Ultra Street Fighter logo. On the side here, again, more Ultra Street Fighter 2 artwork. And same thing on this side. And then, of course, on the back, we have the figure, which looks awesome just going by this picture. You have the different poses. He comes with different expressions that you could change, as you could see there. They, of course, got the whole Vegas background from the game. And because of the posability of the different, of the Storm Collectibles, the way they do their figures, you know, this guy is going to be able to pull off some of the same moves that you could see in that game. So this pose right here is really, really cool. And I love this boxer stance there. But yeah, I will open this, show you what all we get in there. But this guy looks pretty cool just sitting right there. Okay, guys. So had a chance here to take Balrog out of the box here. And as you guys can see, he comes with a couple of accessories. The first being, I don't know if I guess I can call this an accessory, is his awesome background. Again, this being from Ultra Street Fighter 2, is his Las Vegas stage from that specific game. So it's really cool that they include this. Again, if you are the type of person to want to display your figures with their backgrounds or any other figures for that matter, I think this is a really cool one. You could almost display two figures sort of facing off to give that Street Fighter feel. So it's really cool they include this background here. Other accessories, unlike a lot of Storm Collectibles, he doesn't get different hands because of course, Balrog here being a boxer, he's mostly always wearing his gloves. But one cool effect that we do get is this one here, which essentially is like a puff of smoke, right? So if you're familiar with the game, Balrog here has a move. I think if I remember correctly, it was like a turn punch. If they called it, you used to hold the button and then release, and he would do like this turn punch and essentially leave like a little trail of smoke behind. So that's essentially what this accessory is supposed to be emulating, right? If he's like punching somebody so hard and so fast that he leaves smoke or sort of like yeah, on the ground, dust essentially. So that's really cool. And I guess the cool thing as well is that you don't only necessarily need to use this with Balrog. You can use this with any figure that you have. So I think as far as the effect itself, I think it's really well done. It's like some smoky gray plastic with some like dark detailing. It is soft and hollow. But again, I think, if you're into picture photography or displaying your figures, with their effects, it's really cool that they included this. The other part that they've included is a whole different torso. This is my first Storm Collectibles figure that comes with a whole different torso. And the reason for this is in the game, again, I believe it was during one of his win poses, is when he wins, he rips off his shirt, right? And then he ends up, with no shirt on. So that's really cool that they included, again, a whole separate torso for you to emulate that look. But again, the color here, I think, is really well done. Just trying to get this to focus. There we go. I think it's well done. I do like the color. Again, the muscle definition is definitely there. You got your soft plastic here and your harder plastic here. You got the sections here for the arms and of course the head, and then of course the ball joint for the waist to go in there. I haven't yet tried that, so maybe I'll do that in a little bit and show you guys what it looks like. But that's really cool. You get a whole different shirtless torso to sort of play with. So we'll put these two aside. We also get different heads. The head that he came with, at least on mine, was this one. That's the head he came with in the box. And again, it's really, really well done. I do like the details well there. I think it looks just like the video game character. I love the haircut. Again, no issues with the paint. Is really well done. And the expression is definitely there, right? He's definitely mighty pissed off. But it's really well done. So that's one. Two, you get his beat up face. Of course, this is from the losing portrait. So of course he's got some blood there coming out of his mouth. He just got beat up by Chun-Li or by Ryu or Ken. He's got the nice swollen eye. It looks like he's got a black and purple. Maybe he's got a damage in his eye socket. Who knows? He just got beat up. But he definitely looks the part. And the hair, again, very similar to the other head. And again, he's kind of just popped these off. So that was head number two. Head number three, I guess, is kind of like a very neutral expression. He almost looks like he's not smiling, but this is definitely Balrog. I guess very focused. If you see this face, you should be scared. He's coming to get you. But again, really cool. Hair is really well done. No issues with paint. And again, that's really cool that they include all these different heads for you to sort of play with. Again, he came in the box with this head, and I took it off and I switched it out for this one. I much prefer the smirk, the expression on this face. And again, very similar to the other faces or heads. It's really well done. No issues there with any paint. And, it can move. As far as the figure itself, again, I'm very partial to these big chunky figures. Very much looking at Earthquake from Samurai Showdown, which they've announced. And Zangief from Street Fighter also is one of my favorites. But this is to say this is along that same line as, I want to say, Zangief or even King from Tekken. If you have those from Storm Collectibles, he's very substantial and really well done. One thing that I appreciated is my joints were not overly tight. They're a little noisy, but I know in my other Storm Collectibles figures, a lot of these joints will be extremely hard to move. In this case, they have tension and they stay in place, but they're not loose. Same thing with the heads. They're a bit squeaky, but again, it's nothing. I don't feel like I'm going to break these by moving them. But again, here you can move the waist freely, no issue. The head, you can fully turn it around. So that is really cool. Let's move this background out of the way. And there we go. And the paint, again, very good job of emulating the cloth material, the rips and tears on the t-shirt underneath his, this workout shirt here. And again, this being self-plastic, they do that for the postability. But again, the detail is really there. It's not just plain old light blue. They got some gray, some whites going on there. You've got the shorts here. But the clothing is really well done. And again, the complexion, the skin, the muscle definition is definitely all there. Definitely love the gloves. Again, you got enough detail in there for this scale of a figure that it looks really nice. Moving on here to the legs. Again, great muscle definition. I think Storm Collectibles does such a good job with his video game figures. And you've got his boots, his boxing boots, I guess. Again, detail, not a lot of detail, but what's there is definitely well done. I love the laces here going all the way up. And then same thing here. Bottom, no pattern or anything, but you guys can see there's some the toe articulation to pose this guy. And that's actually a good segue. As I showed before, articulation wise, you can turn his head fully around. Here the arms, as you guys could see. Here you can turn them around, you can put them out. His elbow almost, a little, it's probably 90 degree, I would say. And the Boxing gloves here, you can fully turn them around. Obviously, there is no like finger articulation because again, he's got boxing gloves on. The torso here, again, this is all soft plastic to allow you to do things like looking down. He could look down that much and sort of look up as well. You just need to be careful with getting some of this plastic, this soft rubber caught when you're posing him so that he can look, I guess, up. And you guys can see there's a ball joint for the upper torso, but you can take this out. The section here of the shorts are also soft plastic. So again, from a postability standpoint, I think you'll be able to hit some good poses with this guy. The legs, he can kick, back about that much fully. And then like about forward, maybe that much. Again, the knee looks like it's double jointed, so you do get enough there. And there's the ankle. There is pivot and some back and forth. And as I showed before, the toe articulation is definitely there, which I think for a boxing figure, you definitely need. And as I said, you've got joints here, so you can pose this guy in different ways. You can certainly, I think, get this guy in some good boxing poses if you wanted to, right? So it's really cool. I'm really happy with this figure. I think it's really nice. I'm glad I got into the Storm Collectibles. At least most of the ones that I have, I've been extremely happy with. And let's change his head maybe to this angry one. Just pop it off, put the new one in, and boom. There you go. Let's try and see if we can do the torso. Okay, so I was able to get the torso out. You guys can see there's a ball joint, and that's where this will go in. And let's see if I can manage to get this in there without breaking anything. Probably not, but as you guys can see, I'm supposed to put that in there. And I think it may be perhaps best to do a bit of warm water because this is really hard. So just showing you guys that I would probably maybe try and see if you can soften this up to get that in there. But again, just something to keep in mind. I will play around with this later. Okay, so after some fighting and some scary moments, I managed to get the torso off of it and switch it out. So this is what you'll be left with, once you pull this torso with the shirt on. Again, it's very similar to the bear torso, but again, and you guys could see the joints in there. You can remove these white pieces from the shirt underneath, and you'll see the mechanism there for the head and the joint. It was a bit scary because, again, pulling on a brand new figure at the risk of breaking it, and it was a little hard to sort of take this out, and but I managed it. So as I said, just be really careful when you pull this out. Now, I think the harder part for me was putting again the torso in and also the joints. So as you guys can see there, he actually does look really cool. I myself prefer the look with the shirt on. I just sort of put it on to show you guys. But this torso again is really well done. Once you get it in there, it's in. So it's probably going to be another fight to get it out. It was a little hard to get the arms back in because you do have to pull them off this torso here and get them back in, and you have to line up these soft rubber pieces to get them out of the way so the joint can go in there. But once you're in, you're good. The joint on mine on this side though, I don't know if you guys can hear it, it's squeaking, so I don't want to mess with it too much. Just something to be sort of aware of. He looks really cool like this, but in all honesty, I'm probably going to go ahead and keep him in the look with the shirt on, as you guys can see. But he does look really cool. Again, it's awesome that they provided this extra piece just to sort of give you the option of that shirtless look there. All right, guys. So overall, I'm really happy with this figure. I did have to mess with it a bit to get this torso back on. It was mostly I had an issue with getting this arm, which is the right arm, back in the rubber section here. Kept getting in the way, but I finally got to play with it a little bit and got it back in, no problem. I guess I would be scared if over time, if you're constantly switching the limbs and the torso off constantly, that you may run into some breakage. The whole internal section in there where the joints kind of go in is hard plastic, but I'm kind of worried that it may become brittle over time, perhaps, and break. So for me, I'm actually really happy with this look. It's great that they included that extra torso, but just something minor to note. This guy's very postable. As you saw earlier, you can move him in a different, put him in different poses. He comes with a different, three different heads in addition to the one he has here. He definitely looks imposing, looks apart. So I am really happy with this guy. So again, if you're into Street Fighter and Storm Collectibles, for me, this was definitely a something that I definitely want to add to the collection here. As we close for comparisons, just to give you guys an idea, I had a Super 7 figure here. Here's Casey Jones from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Super 7 line. Again, no comparison. This guy is much smaller. He's also in a bit of his feet are spread apart, so he looks smaller. But just wanted to show them out there for anyone that may be interested. Of course, you're not going to display these together, or maybe you do. No issue with that, but just wanted to show that. That's Casey Jones from Super 7. And then to move on to more Storm Collectible stuff, here he is next to Kung Lao. And the Mortal Kombat figures have always been on the smaller side, at least the ones that I have. So for example, there's Kung Lao, and here he is next to Liu Kang. And I know Liu Kang's kind of a bit of a pose, sort of leaning forward. But these Mortal Kombat figures have always been smaller than the rest of them. I think Balrog here, the Street Fighter figures fit in better with the Tekken ones and even the Samurai Showdown or the King of Fighter ones. But in this case, this doesn't look too bad. I mean, Balrog is an imposing, huge boxer. So I think perhaps this would fit in really well. But there you go, with Kung Lao and Liu Kang. Here he is next to another Mortal Kombat figure. Again, just to show that, here he is next to Reptile. Again, this guy's a very imposing, very tall figure. So just wanted to show that so you guys can get an idea. Moving on to slightly bigger figures. Here he is next to Haomaru from Samurai Showdown. Again, this guy's in a bit of a different pose, but even if he was standing up straight up and down, this Balrog would be much, much bigger. But you want to show what that looked like. So that's an SNK figure from Samurai Showdown. Here he is next to another SNK, this time King of Fighters. Iori, he's got him in his little bit of a crazy pose. This is the Orochi Iori. But again, I think even standing up, straight up and down, Balrog's definitely much, much taller. So we'll move Iori out of the way here. Here he is next to Axel from Street of Rage 4. And hopefully we'll get that Adam figure out fairly soon. But as you guys can see, size comparison, Axel here is way smaller. He actually looks like a boss from Street of Rage that he would be sort of fighting. But I think it still works, right? It still works. I like my bad guys to usually always be taller than the good guys here. So that's Axel and Balrog there. Something I guess that fits a bit more along those lines is Tekken. So there's Paul Phoenix from Tekken 7. I think this definitely sort of could work to stand there with Balrog up and down. Looks a little more, I guess, in scale there. So you guys can see him. Really cool. I think these two make a good fit there. Again, keeping on with the Tekken theme, here he is next to King. Now, him and King do look a bit more like they could be almost from the same line, right? Like some kind of Tekken versus Street Fighter thing. But again, I think that looks really cool. So that's king, and then to put him more with one of his line mates, I guess, from Street Fighter. Here he is next to this humongous Balrog. And you guys can see him there face to face. This scale definitely works. I think it's really cool. But yeah, Zangief here is definitely taller than Balrog, and that kind of fits the mythos or the story of Street Fighter. Right? Zangief was always this big wrestler guy. But overall, really happy with this figure. If you're interested, I did get mine from a Big Bad Toy Store. Apparently, there's some kind of official supplier of Storm Collectibles now, even though all their stuff seems to come in later than others. Again, I paid this for this figure out of my own pocket, so I'm certainly not affiliated with any company. But overall, I would definitely recommend this Balrog if you're into Street Fighter or collecting Storm Collectible figures. This is definitely a good direction that they're going in, at least with the Street Fighter line. So I'm definitely looking forward to the other ones. As I said, I have Adam from Street to Rage 4. I have Earthquake that they announced on order, and I'm still waiting for my Geese Howard. So hopefully I'll get those in soon. But definitely, as far as these Balrog from Ultra Street Fighter 2, I would highly recommend them if you want to get them. It's definitely out there and definitely a worthy figure. Anyway, thank you so much, guys. If you made it to the end of the video, if I missed anything, if you guys have any questions, any comments, concerns, of course, please leave it. But otherwise, thank you so much for your very valuable time, and I will catch you next time.